Hey y'all, it's Alicia and welcome back to Alicia's Crafty Hoplop. To my new subscribers, welcome. We hope you feel so comfortable here. And to my returning folks, happy Monday y'all. Happy Monday. By the time y'all watch this, I will be in the city on campus. As you can still see, I'm in my comfy llama jama, which is really just a one-piece lounge suit that I love to wear. I don't craft in it because I love it that much and I do not want to get it covered in sparkly metallic-y things. Folks, last night I meant to do the draw for the wonderful border die from Miss Deb Hendrick, and your girl just conked out, and I so apologize. So I have everybody entered into my phone, and there are a ton of names, so we're going to do a draw for that. But before that, I just want to share with you a really funny story. I told you all, this is why it's important to let people know when you receive their packages. So I told you, like I stopped counting at about 150. Maybe there's 160, maybe there's 165, 170, I don't know. All I can tell you is that we received an epic amount of entries for the military card challenge. And I just felt so grateful, but it was a lot to package up. Because for the organization, it was important that we group them. So I needed some help because that was a lot to get done by the deadline to get it out in the mail, right? So I had a set deadline with them and I needed some help to get it done. So I had to sort it all. I had like these boxes set up and we had them broken out. And and I guess in our world, we know the difference between a really fancy card and a pocket letter. To us, those are two very different things. But not everybody knows that difference. So Miss Susan, as I told you, checked in to make sure that I received her box because she had sent me this really wonderful box of cards for the challenge. And I'm telling you, she made a ton, folks, and they were beautiful. And as I told y'all, I was like, I should have told her right away when the box arrived. I didn't. She checked in with me by text and I said, oh, so sorry, girlie. Yes, the box arrived. I've got it. It's all good. And then that was it. And Susan knows this about me. She knows that if I get something in the mail, I show it. So up on a video. So sure enough, I posted the notice yesterday saying, hey folks, don't forget to send a little thank you, whatever way is your style, be it a text message or what have you, to let people know when you get wee wishes or racks of love, because it's important to acknowledge it. So Susan says, did you open the box? And I'm like, of course we did, because we had to get everything ready for the military challenge and everything's all packaged up, ready to go. We're done. Everything's done. And then she's like, there was something in there for you. And I was like, pardon? Well, long story short, folks, is not everybody would recognize that this beauty is not a fancy card. So not the royal we, Alicia had to go and open up the box, which was all organized, sorted, and bundled, and try to figure out where this beaut could be. And you have to understand, like 165 cards. We're talking about packages like this thick of things in order to find this. And some people's envelopes were decorated and were ornate. So anyway, long story short, it was about 30 minutes later, I text Susan back and I am roaring with laughter because sure enough, what was in there? Well, this almost made it to a soldier, folks. Oh yes, an active deployed soldier. I just want you to realize, first of all, it's blingy. So they would have had my head at the office. Or maybe they wouldn't have. But I just found this hysterical. I found this absolutely hysterical. The idea that this beautiful work of art, which I loved when Susan made it, would have ended up in the hands of some soldier serving. But thanks to Susan, it was rescued and it is now in my hands and it is gorgeous, folks. So I gotta tell you, I love the way that Susan did this. So I don't know if you guys all saw what she did for this. So look at each one is like on beautiful paper, and it's one of the beautiful sort of Tim Holtz photo booth characters, all coordinated on this winter paper. But what I really love that Susan did for this is she used these mini envelopes with these Tim Holtz sort of Scrabble-like words. I thought it was like dreamy when she did it. So I'm just going to show you what that would look like in the back. Look at that. So it's so beautiful because it's like celebrate and make and winter and moment and enjoy and laugh. And the middle one's a shaker. It's a beautiful snowflake one, and it says Winter Vogue which really speaks to all my teaching. And each little envelope has something inside. So, I mean, I don't know. Maybe the soldier would have liked receiving this. I know I loved receiving it once I got it last night. And I'm not, I don't want to make this up. I normally I don't open things without doing it with you live on here. But after this whole thing and cracking up with the husband and thinking, okay, so clearly to me, this is not a card, but maybe that's not as clear to people that don't do crafting. And it's a lesson. So what's our lesson? When we employ folks to help us with all of our packaging up of things, we have to be very clear what a card is, what a card is not, and to check packages for things like this in case they are tucked in with entries. It was a lesson, folks. And maybe you just had to be there to understand how funny this was. But for me, this was like an epic stomach roar, because I was like, how does this even remotely look like a card? But again, always in the eye of the beholder. But wouldn't it have been funny if that had actually reached the person? I mean, what would they have thought? Why are we sending you little pieces of ribbon while you're serving in some remote part of the world? How is this useful? I mean, for me, this is super beautiful trim. Like, do y'all see this trim? It's beautiful. And I love it. And to me, it's useful. But just imagine a deployed soldier getting that ribbon and being like, why is this person sending me a ribbon? Like, am I supposed to make something with this? I'm sorry, guys. Susan cracked up too, and she was sharing it with her husband. And it's like, this is all my fault. There's no question, because I did not outline the rules. Look at this beautiful trim. I wanted to share this with you because each one has like a different beautiful trim. There's so many goodies tucked in here. When Susan does this, I just thought it was such a great idea to like make these mini envelopes and put them in, because when we do these pocket letters, things do fall out, and it kind of bugs me. And I've seen different people handle it in different ways. Like some people now are putting in Velcro to stop it from happening, but I thought this was such a clever solution for our pocket letters, is just to innovate these little envelopes, and they sure did hold a lot. I was super impressed. Let me show you a couple more, because really, we want to enjoy this because it's so stunning, guys. Just take another look at how beautiful this is. And maybe the person would have loved it. Maybe, Susan, they would have hung it up in their bunkie and been like, I got the coolest letter out of all of you. But I don't know, folks. It's a lesson. It's a lesson. I don't know what your partners are like. It's not like my husband and bestie ask me like, oh, like, what exactly are you making? Sometimes my bestie does, in fairness. Sometimes she does say, like, what is that? I don't know what that is you're making. Like when I was working on the policy envelopes, look at this trim. So beautiful. So basically what Susan has done, and it's like epically smart idea, is sent a whole sampler kit in a pocket letter, which gave me all sorts. See, Susan always gives me ideas. So not only do I like this idea of the enclosure, but now I'm like, I've been working on some vintage sampler kits for people. Some people for We Wishes wanted some trim samples. And this would have been such a clever way to send them, Susan. And I didn't even think to do that. So I love that when I got this, when we dug it out of the military card challenge box, I realized I could have done this a more creative way. So again, Susan, you always inspire me to look at things differently. But also, this was just worth it for the laugh. I was texting with Cruz this morning, and I'm like, you got to watch this video because it was so funny. And it wasn't even, folks, like right at the top. Like I had to go. Everything was already ready to go because I'm going to the post office on the way to work. Take a look, all of these. And then she put in, look at these beautiful little buttons, guys. I want to show you. This is the cutest cameo, and it's in my favorite blue. Do you see it all? And look at this. Susan, did you make this button, or did you find it at one of your amazing, like, Susan has access to like these amazing, in the South, they have these great like yard sales and estate sales, but I think this is a hand crocheted button. I mean, each pocket was magic, and you all know that I love this blue so much. So like it totally made my night because I laughed, and it totally made my night because it was super thoughtful and such an inventive way to send a sampler out that I'm now rethinking. I might make a similar doohickey for a couple of folks that wanted some trim samples. So what a great idea, Susan, and thank you. And thank you for having such a good sense of humor about this being mistaken for a card. Notice where I'm looking. That's all I'm going to say, folks. speaking of the husband, he is doing better. Thank you all for asking. It was, it was quite a nasty little fall, and he hates when he's giving me a face.
Okay. Nope, ruin it. Start over.
He wants me to start over now, because, he's doing better.
Explain.
He's doing better. Thank you for asking.
Explain.
Thank you for asking. And I appreciate it. I really do. I really, really do. All right, y'all. Well, we have a big prize to be drawing for, and I got to tell you something special. My understanding is that other box from Miss Deb Hendrick is a contribution to We Wishes, and that is super generous of her. And she knew I was doing up the next round of packaging and sending out, and so she wanted to get it to me. So I'm debating on whether or not I show it or I just divide it up and send it out as a surprise. I'm going to make that decision later today. But we all need to give Miss Deb Hendrick a big thank you, because she has generously sent so many supplies in for the We Wishes folks. And I just think that it was an epic contribution. It was super generous of her. And I, for one, am very grateful. Very, very grateful to you, Miss Hendrick. And I cannot believe what you sent in for sending out to everybody. Very generous of you. And I know that every single person who made a We Wish is going to be super appreciative of it. And folks, if you get a package and the items came from Deb, or they came from Ara, or they come from Lily, or they came from me, I will let you know in the card. I will attach a card that will say, these items were courtesy of so-and-so, or they were items courtesy of Deb and Alicia, or Deb and Ara, so that you'll know. And that way you can let Deb know how much you appreciate it, because this was epically generous of her. Well, speaking of Deb's epic generosity, I have a ton of names in here to draw, and let's see who it is. Let's see. All right. I'm always afraid when I do this I'm going to do it wrong, but so far I haven't ever done it wrong. So you're going to see first who it is. It is Deborah's Chillin' Bags. Miss Deborah, you won. I have a typo in the spelling of your name, but it clearly says Deborah's Chillin' Bags. I'm so excited. And that's really great timing, because I actually have something going out to you this week. So with your permission, ma'am, I am going to put that into the mail for you, likely with the items I'm sending you, or I may just send it off today on its own. Congratulations. Thank you to each and every one of you for commenting and participating. I am going to be coming back this evening from work, and I will be making sure to respond to all your comments. And I'll let you know, too, if I'm just going to send out those extra We Wishes from Miss Deb as a surprise. To Miss Susan Tootsie Tucker, thank you so much again for your sense of humor around this, really. And thank you for making it for me. Most of all, thank you for gifting me another amazing idea. I mean, what a great way to send a sampler. Oh, I have an idea now. Folks, it is going to be a very busy day, and I think the most exciting part of my day is going to be coming back and responding to your comments. It's just a full day today. I have lots to do, lots to take care of. I've got things to do for work. I've got things I have to pick up. I got a big post office run, because we got to get all those cards out. And we also have to get out some We Wishes and some Happy Mail. So that is what my day is looking like. I don't know what yours is like, but I sure hope that it gives you some joy. I hope whatever you do, that you have a little bit of time for yourself. Here it's raining, which is always yucky for my autoimmune. So I'm going to be trying to pace myself as the day goes along to make sure I have energy right until the end, so I can come back and enjoy your videos. Yes, that's what I'm going to be doing. All right, y'all. Happy Monday to you. Happy Monday. It is the start of a new week, and I hope it is a super blessed and happy one for you. All right, y'all. See you later today. Bye for now.